Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises and glory belongeth to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wahavakar Kodash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. And double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that teaches truth well, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning across the globe. Okay, we're back out here again, and Lord willing, this will be edifying. I want to start on Proverbs, Baba Kasha. This is Proverbs 1, and we're going to go straight to 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. So where's wisdom crying out? In the streets. Another word for streets is agora. Marketplaces, the place of trading. When you type in that word agora, it goes into what? Marketplace. So this is where wisdom is crying out. Okay. This is where understanding is crying out. Okay. She uttereth her voice in the streets. That's why you got to be out here on the streets. Okay? Because that's where wisdom is. So wherever you see the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect on these streets, that's where wisdom is. Okay? She crieth in the chief place of concourse. So what's the chief place of concourse? The highways and byways. That's the chief place of concourse. Concourse, what does it mean? Circle, where people are trading. Okay? So this is where wisdom is crying out. In the openings of the gates, in the city, she uttereth her words, saying, how long will you simple ones? Will you love simplicity? So how long are our people going to want to be simple? How long are you going to want to love simplicity? How long are you going to want to be stuck in your idle ways? How long are you going to want to be simple, stuck in these other wayward philosophies? How long are you going to be wanting bowing down to your woman? How long are you going to want to be doing these things? How long will you simple ones will you love simplicity? And scorners delight in their scorning. And fools hate knowledge, because if you hate knowledge, ultimately, guess what? That makes you a fool. Okay? But the reason why we're out here, because we were once fools. We were once fools. So what gets a man wise is this understanding this knowledge. This is what makes a man wise. Okay? Because the scripture says the wisdom in Corinthians, the wisdom of this world, see if we can get that, baby. It's foolish with the Most High. Everything that's esteemed in this world is foolish. Okay. Bear me just a minute. Let's go to Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. Okay. So this was seen, what I'm doing, it was seen foolishness in the eyes of the masses, but really it's not. But unto us which are saved, it is the power of the Most High. So we know if we continue, if we endure, we have a reward waiting for us. Okay. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. So Yahweh Shai, he's destroying the wisdom of the wise. These technicians, these physicists, the people that are so-called wise in this world, that have 4 different degrees, different, status. He's destroying the wise of the world, the wisdom of the world. Okay, by what? By raising up his prophets, by raising up his men. That's how he's destroying what? The wisdom of this world. Okay. A degree getting a degree, that doesn't really mean you're wise. Okay, that just means you've studied and you've been able to regurgitate what you were taught from Esau. Having a degree doesn't mean you're wise, and that whole degree thing goes into what? Masonry. So when you have a degree, that goes into masonry. Okay? Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not the Most High chosen the foolish, made the foolish, so like have not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? So the Most High, He's made the things of this world foolish. Like a degree that doesn't make you wise at all. Okay? So the wisdom of this world, what? Is foolish. Okay? For after that, in wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High by foolish of preaching to save them that believe. So it says that in wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. Okay? So this world, by the wisdom of this world, the wisdom of the world, they don't know the knowledge of the Most High. They don't know the knowledge of what? Spiritual things. They might have knowledge of the world, but they don't have knowledge when it comes to this truth. Okay? Have not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? So everything that's taught in this world, everything Esau puts up as wisdom is actually the opposite. It's actually foolishness. Foolishness is esteemed in this world. Okay? Not righteousness. Okay? Foolishness is esteemed here. Wickedness is esteemed here. Okay? Bear me just a minute. Keep it itching because pollen, I might be allergic to pollen. Every time this pollen keeps falling, it makes me itchy and it gives me rashes. But you know, we ain't got time to complain. We still got to keep pushing the work. Okay, that's why when we get that new flesh, we ain't going to have all these infirmities. But the infirmities, they're here to keep us humble. Okay. For the Jews requiring a sign. Okay, the sign of what? The Messiah. Okay. I remember the scripture says, a wicked and foolish generation seeketh after a sign. So the Jews require after a sign. The Greeks what? Seek after wisdom. Because they were more on what? They were more practical. Okay. The Greeks are more practical. Okay. They were seeking what? More for what? Science. Okay. So lucky the Jews were seeking for a sign. The Greeks were what? They were more practical. When it came, they needed evidence. Like, you know, they were known as what? Skepticists. A lot of them Greeks, they would practice the method of trying out first. See it to believe it. Okay. But we preach Mashiach. Bear me just a minute. We preach Mashiach. Check the cameras all right. Yeah, we preach Mashiach. Crucified, to the Jews a stumbling block. Okay. And Greek foolishness. So this was a stumbling block to the what? To the Jews and to the Greeks foolishness. Why? Because the Greeks were in different what? Idolatries. Ideologies. So this that's why when Paul was coming to the Israelites in Greek, some of them believed, some of them said, who's this babbler? That mentions that in Acts 5 or 4. Okay. See, you've always had those that were of the Jews and of the Greeks, which the Greeks were Israelites that it was referring to, that had a hard time believing. But then you also had those that were non-Jews that believed, and you had Jews, those that were Jews that were in Jerusalem that did not believe. So there was a variance, okay, when it came to that belief. Okay. But unto them which are called Jews and Greeks. Why does it say Jews and Greeks? Because the Greeks it was speaking of that were called were Israelites. Okay, because we know salvation is not for everybody. So them Greeks were actually Israelites, but they were living in a Hellen mind state. Hellenistos. They took on the customs of what? The Greeks. But they were Israelites. Okay. The Jews and Greeks must shut the power, the wisdom of the Most High, because the foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men. Okay? So even the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men. And how does he show his strength? Through weakness. Okay? That's how Yahweh shows his strength. Through weakness. Okay? For ye see your calling, brethren, not many wise men after the flesh. So you're not going to get so much them what intellectuals in this truth, so-called intellectuals in this truth, teaching this word. Okay. So not many wise men. Okay, so-called scholarly backgrounds, because most of us came from what? Most of us were brought up in what? The public school system, basic schools we went to. Okay. After the flesh, not many mighty. Okay, not many mighty men like Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield and Lennox's. Because if that was the case, would they be in the truth? But they're not. So this is not many. Doesn't mean you're not going to have those that were from particular backgrounds that were not into boxing and all that. No, you're going to get them, but it's going to be very far few and in between, because Yahweh needs to show you his strength through what? Through weakness. So he's not going to raise up someone that's already mighty to show their strength through them. He's going to raise up someone that was what? Slightly more weaker. Okay, that's how his power is shown. Okay, through the weakness of men. Okay. Not many noble, because you have brothers that may come from noble backgrounds, from the suburbs or whatever. Okay, so it says not many. Okay, but there will be those that are of them backgrounds, but not many. Okay. Are called, but the most have chosen the foolish things. So the things that are deemed foolish. Okay, like this right now. To the people, most of the people that are watching this are seeing, most of the people see this as foolish. But this ain't foolish. To the eyes of the world it's foolish, because they don't understand. So of course to this world this is going to be foolish, but not to us. Okay. The foolish things of this world to confound the wise. So this is what Yahushua does to put people in a trick bag. He uses what? Things that are deemed what? As foolish. Okay? Things that are deemed as silly. Things that are deemed as small. What? To confound the wise of this kingdom. And that's how his power is shown. Okay? And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. So the things that are seemed weak, minute, that's what Yahushua uses. Again, why? Because that's how his power can be shown. Okay? He ain't going to use something that's already mighty to show his power, because that thing's already mighty. You see? And the base things of the world and the things which are despised have the Most High chosen, yeah. So the things that are base, the things that are low, that's why the scripture talks about humility. Okay? So Yahushua, he can deal with you when you're humble. Okay? As much scriptures as certain brothers may know, it doesn't mean nothing if it's not mixed with humility. So humility always comes first. Always. It's the first thing. Humility goes a far way. Okay? Without humility, you're really nothing. Okay? Humility is key. Okay? There's many individuals that they learn about the truth, but it's not mixed with humility. Okay? So they don't know how to conduct themselves in the truth, because it's not mixed with humility. Damn pollen, man, making me itchy up. Excuse me. And the base things of the world. And the things which are despised. Nah, him, hold on a minute, but nah. This guy, nah, man. How him? Look at him. Nah, but he ain't doing it like us. You know? Who's this guy? You know? Yes, them same individuals you look down upon, the Most High is using them to confound the wise. And that you can also apply this to the Pharisees and the scribes in Matthew 23, because they can be considered what the so-called wise, because they were learned in the law. So guess what? Yahweh Shai is using men that are of low stature in this truth, even to confound other men that are in this truth. Those that are considering themselves wise. Okay? This is what he's doing. Okay? Why? Because it's the Lord's movie. Okay? This is the Lord's movie. Okay? And the things which are despised of the world, and the things which are despised have the Most High chosen, yeah, and the things which are not to bring to naught, things are. So the things are not, the things that are small, the things that are despised, that's what the Heavenly Father uses. Okay, to confound what? The people of this world. Okay? And that no flesh should glory in his presence. So knowing that, what? Nobody should be able to what? Glory in Yahweh's presence. Okay? Knowing that. Okay? Isaiah, let's go straight to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 55. Isaiah 55. And where should we start? 8. For my faults are not your faults. Because a lot of our people, they have the mentality, well, no, why would the Most High do this? The scripture says my faults are not your faults. Your faults is maybe completely contrary to the Heavenly Father and his faults. Okay? My faults are not your faults. So sometimes what we think, what Yahweh Shai is completely opposite. Sometimes the way we see things, the way we see things going, goes a complete different way. Because what? The Most High Yahweh Shai's faults are not our faults. Okay? Neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. So we can never fully, do we have an understanding of Yahweh Shai? Yes, but we can never fully, well, I don't want to say never, because in the kingdom we are going to understand. But right now we cannot understand all of his ways, Okay? Remember, we know in part, we prophesy in part, and we know in part. The rest is going to be given to us in kingdom. What we don't know is going to be given to us in the kingdom. Okay? So anything we don't know here will be given to us in the kingdom. Anything we're lacking now will be given to us in the kingdom. Okay, you best believe that. Okay, anything we're lacking now, because the scripture says you have an unction to know what? All things. So yeah, we have an unction to know all things. That's 100% truth of what we've been given according to what we know. Because there's going to be levels to even to what we know. Some brothers know more, some brothers know less. But as long as you've got that faith, that's all that matters. Okay, that's the main thing. Bear me just a minute. Okay, as long as you got this truth, that is the main thing. Would you bear me just a minute, Akim? Because you might be looking at another brother and saying, well, how comes he knows all this and I don't know? Well, do you have faith? If the Lord's blessed you with faith, that's enough. That should be enough for you. You know, that's why the scriptures talk about being content. Okay? Being content with what you have, what you've been given, what we've been given. Okay? Which is the truth. But the main thing I want to touch on is the state of the world. What's going on? Because again, the trains are packed out, public transport's packed out, the bars are back open. Okay, so everybody's back in that state of mirth. Okay? Everybody's in that state of mirth, laughter, happiness. Not to say the brothers don't laugh. Obviously, we have downtime in this truth, you know, where we balance things out, but we're not in the spirit of mirth. Okay? So I want to quickly go into Isaiah Baba Kashar. Because Esau, guess what? Put these people right back to sleep again. Well, they were already asleep. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 24:7. The new wine mourneth. Okay? Which is the society. Okay? That new wine is mourning. Okay? Even though Esau's giving you that illusion that everything's okay. No, this economy is fucked. Excuse my language. This economy is fucked. Okay, so the new wine mourneth. Okay, the new wine mourneth. The vine languisheth, and the vine represents the people. And the people what? The people, they're languishing. Yeah, they're alright, they're still going to pubs, bars, restaurants, but they're still languishing, because what happens when they've stopped going to bars? They're back in that mournful, depressed state. Okay. So a lot of these people, what? They're languishing. Okay? All the merry-hearted do sigh. And what does merry mean? Cheerful. So all the merry-hearted, all the cheerful, they're sighing. Okay? They're sighing. Okay? They grieve, they're depressed. They don't know what to do with themselves. These people don't really know, they don't know if they're coming or going. Okay? That's why it's important that we have Yahweh Shai. Okay? The mirth of the tabret ceaseth. And when you go into that word tabret, it's that musical instrument, that tambourine. Okay? Ceaseth. Okay? And it has ceased. Even though the streets are back open, West End and all these streets are back open, it's still what? Ceased. Because it's not how it was. It's never going to go back to how it truly was. Okay? When everything was flourishing every day, everybody was out there, it's not going back to that. Okay? So the mirth is ceased. Okay? When something ceases, it stops. It gets put to an end. Okay? The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the heart ceaseth. Which is what? Indicative of this society, this economy. Okay? All these things are ceasing. All the joy is ceasing. So these people, they have a fake, what's it? A false illusion of happiness. Oh, let's go to the pub. You know, let's have a barbecue. No, but hold on a minute. These things are still happening. So people, they're blinding themselves with what? Entertainment. Okay, with what? Reveling. That's not going to change anything. Because all right, you've drank in that glass of gin or whatever, Jack Daniels, but after that, what is it? You still have to deal with what? The eternal affairs that are going on across the world. Okay, you still have to deal with the affairs of the world. Because it affects everybody. You might not think it affects you, but it does. Okay? All these things affect the world. Okay? They shall not drink wine with a song. Okay? The people ain't gonna be merry. When all hell breaks loose, they ain't gonna be drinking wine with a song. Okay? It's gonna be grievous to these people out here. Okay? Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Especially when this calamity breaks loose. People are gonna be drinking, trying to get over it. Drinking, it's gonna have no effect. Because a lot of the time, why do people drink? To try and get over the calamity that's happening. You ain't gonna be able to turn to the bottle. Well, if you turn to the bottle, it ain't gonna make no difference. Okay? The city of confusion is broken down. That city of confusion is America. Babylon, aka America. And it's gonna be broken down. Bit by bit. Okay? Why is America known as the city of confusion? Because it brings forth confusion. America is the melting pot of confusion. America is where all these other philosophies come out of. Okay? Every house is shut up. So when it says broken down, why? Because there's going to be mass rioting on a high level basis. Okay? So that's why it's going to be what? Shut down also. And it's going to be what? Martial law. It's going to be rioting, it's going to be martial law. It's going to be fighting. Everybody's going to be fighting for some food. Okay? Everybody's going to be panicking. Okay? So what are these things going to lead to? Shutdowns. The stores are going to be shut down very soon. That's when you're really going to start seeing people lose it. Esau, he studied the people. Don't you understand? We can go to Psalm 64 after this as well. Esau has studied the people. He's done psychological warfare. Every single day is being done. Every single day. Okay? He studied how these people react to particular things. Okay? Bear me just a minute. That no man may come in. Why? Because it's going to be martial law. There's actually going to be martial law upon these streets. Where everything is locked down, everything is barricaded, everything is shut off. This is what's going to happen. Okay? Why? Because the scriptures say so. Okay? That's why. Because the scriptures say so. Whereas the crying for wine in the streets, that mirth, all joy is darkened. So all that joy, it's going to be darkened. Even though the joy is back here again, people are still enjoying them. That's going to be darkened very soon. Okay? And that's what we're here to tell you. Okay? The mirth of the land is gone. What's the mirth? The joy. Okay? That's going to go very soon. Okay? What's mirth? Happiness, giddiness, cheerfulness, reveling. All that's going to be gone very, very soon. It's only a matter of time. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So when it says the gate is the entrance of the city. So a lot of these cities, the towns, boroughs, are going to be smitten with destruction. There's going to be fighting breaking out on every level. Everywhere you turn, there's going to be some type of anarchy. Everywhere you turn. This is real. We're not just making this up. Just a minute. It's going to get real out here. Okay? That's why what? We need to cleave unto Yahushua more. Be diligent for Yahushua. I can't say this enough. That's for you to do. I can't say it enough. That's between you and Yahushua. Okay? Be diligent. Show your love for Yahushua. Because in these times, you want to be protected in these times. Okay? You want to make sure what you're covered. Okay? Satan's getting all outraged. You know? So we're in that time. Okay? All hell's gonna start breaking loose. You can already see these people out here. They've got demons on them. Okay? High level demons. Okay? That's what I'm speaking about. This spirit of mirth. The spirit of not giving a shit. Okay? But these people, they're gonna be forced, I'm telling you. They're gonna be forced to care when that time comes. Okay? When all calamity breaks loose. Right now, we're letting you know what the spiritual weather forecast is. We're letting you know of the things to come. We're warning you of these things to come. So you can shake your head at these scriptures, but the truth is the truth. Many people can hear me. The highways and byways. That's why the scripture says, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Plenty of people can hear. Okay? Plenty of people can hear. Right? Damn devil. This word is going out. You see? Satan's getting upset. Why? Because he knows he has a very, very short time. You know? These words about nobody can hear. This is broadcasted live. Okay? Plenty of people. This is across the world. And that's the spirit. He said, nobody can hear me. Hear me just a minute. Let's quickly go to Romans. Okay? Let's see about that. Nobody can hear. Damn fool. Okay? Bear me just a minute. These people are in denial, man. Romans. Let's see about that. Let's go to Romans 8. Let's see if nobody can hear. Romans 8. Let's start at 10, so like a 10. And 14. How then shall they call on him on whom they have not believed? So how can you call on someone that you haven't believed, that you haven't heard of? That you haven't known of? Okay? Unless someone is sent unto you. Huh? And how shall they believe in him whom they have not heard? So first of all, someone's actually got to teach you, someone's actually got to teach the word first and publish it for you to hear. Okay? And how shall they believe in him whom they have not heard? Okay, so guess what? People are hearing. And how should they without a preacher? Okay? So that's where the preachers come into play. Right? And how shall they preach? And another word for preacher is what? Evangelist. So what? We're evangelizing to the people. Okay? And how shall they preach except they be sent? So the Lord Yahweh needs to send what? 3 prophets to you. And they need to be sent from who? Yahweh Sham, Yahweh Shai. Okay? True prophets. And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. So that's what we're preaching. The gospel of peace and good tidings. So what's the good tidings? A good message. Okay? That's what we're bringing to you. The message, the gospel, a kingdom of heaven. Okay? This is what we're teaching. This is what we're preaching. There's another kingdom for us. Okay? But they have not all obeyed the gospel. Okay? For Isaiah saith, Lord, who have believed our report? Because not all of our people are going to receive this word. Only a few are going to receive this, engraft this word, which is able to save your soul. Okay? Verse 17, so then faith cometh by hearing, So that's how faith is increased. That's how our faith was increased. We had to hear first. So faith cometh by hearing. You hear the word first, that's how your faith comes. Then you start practicing, start applying. Okay. Have they not all heard? Okay. Yes, verily, where sound, okay, went into all the earth. So the individual that walked past that scoffer that said, nobody hears you. No, people do hear. And the scripture says, those that have ears, let them hear. So those that are going to hear, why? Because they have ears. Spiritual ears. Spiritual mind to receive this word. Those that are not going to hear, because it wasn't given to them to hear. Okay? It was only given to a certain people. We're not here for the other nations, but we're here, the other nations, we're here to tell you your judgment. Okay? Including the judgment of 2/3 of our own people. And the salvation of what? The hopeful elect. Okay? And their words unto the ends of the world. So these words, you've got individuals watching in Japan, you've got individuals watching in Taiwan, you've got individuals watching in, I don't know, Nebraska, you've got individuals watching different parts of the earth, on remote islands, as long as they got some type of what? Satellite or some type of signal. They can watch the videos. So that individual, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just a scoffer that's going to be destroyed. But her. And the scriptures tell you, in the last days there shall come scoffers walking after their own lust. So be prepared to see more scoffers, more scorners, bucking up against his words. Okay? Be prepared for that. Okay? Let's see what else we've got. It's all right now. It's all what, fun and games. But when calamity happens, it's not going to be all fun and games and all that. Okay. Give me just a minute. Let's go to, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and 25. In the day of prosperity. So what's that time of prosperity? When everybody's having fun, raving, clubbing. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. So when everybody's doing well, or everybody's thriving, having fun, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. What you're going through, of the past hell, you just look. A bit of fun, that makes you to forget about particular hell. So this is why people have fun, because they want to forget about hell. It's another distraction from the hell. Okay? But you can't escape it, because everybody's going to be forced to face the reality of things. Okay? And if your faith is in Yahweh Shai, what does that mean? That means your faith is in the world. And this world's going to come crashing down. Okay? And everything as well. Okay? So it would behoove you to put your faith in Yahweh Shai. Okay? While there's time. While you still have time. Because guess what? The doors of mercy are still open. And how do you know that? Because we're still out here. The moment you don't see me out here, that's when the doors of mercy are closed. Okay? And that's when that impending danger will start to hit. Okay? In a day of prosperity, there's forgetfulness of affliction. Okay? So people tend to forget about the affliction they are catching when they're having fun. Okay? And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So it says in the day of what? Affliction, trouble, there's no remembrance of prosperity. So when you're in trials and straits, you're not thinking about having fun. When you're in a difficult position, you're not thinking about having fun. You're thinking, how can you get yourself out of that position? That's what you're thinking about. You understand what I'm saying? But these people, they're not thinking like that. Okay? They're not thinking like that. The men of the Lord are thinking like that. Okay? Verse 27, the affliction of an hour. And this is so spiritual. You notice how it says the affliction of an hour. And when is Yahushua going to come? In an hour. And that's going to be affliction upon this world. Okay? So it says the affliction of an hour. 1 hour, affliction, everything can change in 1 hour. That's what it says. 1 hour of affliction and trouble, that can change everything. I'm sure you've been going throughout your day, I'm sure you've had days like that where you've gone out or done something in 1 hour, something bad happened and it messed up your whole day. So that can happen. One thing can mess up your whole day. Okay? The affliction of an hour maketh a man to forget pleasure. Okay? Joyfulness. Okay? And this is also twofold. That's why you don't want to, when you're going through things, you don't want to forget, when you're going through affliction, you don't want to forget about the good times. So again, there's a balance. Okay, these scriptures, remember these scriptures are also twofold. So you don't, when you're going through affliction, you don't want to forget about what Yahushua has done for you. Okay? That's one thing you don't want to do, forget about what Yahushua has done. Okay? And in the end, his deeds shall be discovered. So in the end, when Yahushua comes, everybody's deeds are going to be discovered. What they done in the flesh, what they done in the spirit. Okay? There's no running, there's no hiding. Okay? The men of the Lord, they're not thinking about this world, they're not thinking about prospering here. The men of the Lord, they have a whole other mindset. They have a whole other mentality. They have the mentality of escaping this world. In their mind. That's the mentality they have. Not staying here. Not trying to build up here. Okay? Just go to Ecclesiastes 25:12, and it says, the fear of the Lord Yahushua is the beginning of his love. So how do you gain the love of Yahushua? How do you gain the favor of Yahushua? By fearing him. How do you expect Yahushua to love you, but you don't fear him? So that's what the Lord Yahushua requires, that you fear him. And with you fearing him, that's what? That shows you love him. So to come out here, to come out into the highways and byways, that shows you fear him. Because if you didn't, that means you wouldn't fear him. To do these videos, that means you fear him. Okay, to be amongst the brotherhood on Saturdays, that means you fear him. If you don't fear him, you're not going to do these things. You're going to do what you want to do. And that's the way of the world. Do what you want to do, if it feels good. That's the way of this world. And that's why we're in this condition. Because everybody wants to do what they want to do. Okay? It's the beginning of his love. And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. See what I mean? So if you have faith, you're going to do what's according to the scriptures. Because you have that faith, it's in you. And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. So, even with you having faith, that's what? You're going to cleave unto Yahushua. Because it's your faith that causes you to cleave unto Yahushua. If you don't have faith, you're not going to cleave unto Yahushua. You're going to depart from Yahushua because you don't have faith. It's not really hard to understand. Okay? And faith is a gift. Okay? And only a few are going to have that gift, and with that gift, they're going to use that gift. Okay? Bear me just a minute. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart. Why did Solomon say, give him any plague but the plague of the heart? Because the plague of the mind, that's the worst plague. That's the worst plague you can have. The actual plague of the mind, you know? And who was plagued in the mind? King Saul. Why? Because he wasn't being obedient to the commandments of who? Yahushua. Well, really to the commandments of Samuel, what he was commanded. So what he was plagued. Okay. So if you don't do what Yahushua says, he can also plague you. Okay. And any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. That's why certain brothers, they don't have women in this truth. Because certain men are being pulled out of the truth just by their women. Okay? So that's another reason why. Because women are their distraction. Come on, let's be honest. You know? Come on, more men. You know, we love pussy. But that can make you fall out of the truth. So the scriptures say, and give me any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Because that boy, oh boy, these women are wicked, no man. I'm telling you. If you're not careful, guess what? They can pull you out of this truth. So that's why you got to be careful. Okay? So we're done with that. Serious times for him. Serious times. And the people, a lot of these people, they're not going to know until it's too late. Okay? But we've gave them the warning. We're blowing that trumpet. Okay, bear me just a minute. Let's go into some examples. I want to go into example. Let's go to... Because all these things happen in what old time? Okay. We're going to go into the story of Noah. What actually happened in the time of Noah? What does the word Noah mean? Noah means comfort. Okay, when you look at that word Noah. Okay, comfort. Okay. And what was his comfort? In Yahweh, his comfort was in Yahweh and the ark, that spiritual ark. This truth is a comfort, it's an ark, it's a protection. Okay? Bear me just a minute. So this is Genesis 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the earth, and the daughters were born unto them. Okay, and these men were who were Israelites. Okay. But the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men. Okay. But they were fair. Okay. Goodly to look to as well. And the daughters of men were the other nations. Okay, and they took them wives of all that they chose. So we picked of different women of the different what? Nations. Okay. And these were the sons of what? The sons of God that picked out these women. And Lord Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with men, which will dwell with men. Okay. For that he is also flesh. Okay. Yet his days. Alright, that's spiritual, because speaking of days, I'm looking at a side on the bus and it says better days ahead. Yeah, better days ahead for the elect, not for the wicked. Okay, only for the elect. Okay. And his days shall be 120 years, so that's our life expectancy. Okay, prior to that, we were living to what? 900, Mephibosheth was living to 969 years old. Nearly 1,000 years. So a long time. That was living as gods. Okay. So 120 years, that was the most man could live. And you people, because of the diet, because of the food, and because of the poison, men are not even living into 100. A lot of men are not even living to 80. You understand what I'm saying? People's bodies are breaking down. You know? So life expectancy is short as well. Really short. Well, that's Esau has a lot to do with that as well. What he's putting in the food, the contaminant, all of that. Every day our bodies, from the moment you're born, your body's decaying. From the moment you're born, you're dying, if that makes sense. From the moment you're born, you're dying. You've just entered into death. From the moment you were born. Okay? And where were giants in the earth in those days? And after that, where sons of men came into the daughters of men. Okay, the giants. Okay, you had what? Anak. I think it was the Anakim. Which were what the sons of what? Of the Philistines. Okay, and so forth. These were giants. Okay. You had men that were, you're looking at these trees, you had men that were the size of these trees. Even higher than these trees. Men were tall. What you gotta understand, men back in the ancient world, they were taller. They had higher stature. They were not small. The average size of the average man today is what? 5'6", 5'7". No, men were much taller back then. You don't get our height back as well. Okay? Let's believe that. And after that, when the sons of men, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men. Okay? So what does this mean came in? They had sex with them. Okay? The daughters of men, these other nations. Okay? And in the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. That's where you get the mighty men today. Just like with the Israelite foreigners. Kell Brook, he'd be considered as what? A so-called mighty man. His mother was what? A so-called Edomite, and his father was what? An Israelite. Mike Tyson, these were mighty men. Okay? You know? There's examples. Okay? And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. So that was one thing that the Most High recognized, was what? The wickedness upon this earth. Okay? Was increased. Okay? It multiplied. And this is thousands of years ago. Okay? And every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Okay? So it says man's heart, his imagination was evil continually. So man, this ain't that man's done being corrupted from long time ago. Okay, you're looking at man now like man's corrupt. Man's been corrupt from long time ago. Okay? This ain't nothing new. It says that the imagination of man is what? Corrupted. Okay? And the imagination of thoughts of his heart was evil continually. This ain't nothing new. Okay? And it repented the Lord Yahweh. Okay? He had made man on the earth. Okay? So in other words, Yahweh Shem Yahweh had the mentality that, you know what? Why did I even create you? My people, I created the people, but They just rebel. Okay? And it repented the Lord Yahweh Shai that he had made on the earth, that he had made man on the earth. And it grieved his heart. So it grieved his mind. Yahweh Shai was grieved because the wickedness was exceeding. Okay? So this grieved him. Okay? And repented the Lord Yahweh Shai. Repent means he looked back. Why did I create these individuals? Because we were created to be righteous if you believe it or not. But our people, they came up against. Our people have always rebelled. Every captivity. Our Lord's always sent someone to get them out of that situation. Okay, so this ain't nothing new. This was happening before the times of Noah. Even in the time of Noah. The Lord Yahweh Shai said, I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing. So that was the mentality he had. Now, I'm going to do away with this generation, and it's going to be a new generation. Which was Noah, okay, and his sons, okay. And every creeping thing, and the fowls of the earth, for it repented me that I had made them. Okay? But Noah found grace in the Lord, in the eyes of the Lord. So Noah, he found grace, he found mercy. Okay, in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay? These are the rest of the generations of Noah. He was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with the Most High. Okay? In other words, Yahweh